Hello again, I'm Meredith Busch, and today I'll be discussing the importance of Presbyterianism in American history. I grew up at the First Evangelical Free Church of Fullerton and attending a non-denominational Christian school. Today, I'll be employing Liberty's biblical worldview principle of commitment to objectivity and honesty in historical investigation as I delve into the history and importance of a denomination in which I've never participated. That being said, my mom grew up in the Presbyterian Church and still attends one today, so it sparked my interest in studying it. Presbyterian Church, as we've seen in our study, has been central to so much of American history, and the two histories have run side by side and are inextricable in so many ways, and this discussion is going to demonstrate some of those. First, the early period is marked by a few landmarks. Some colonists at Jamestown were Presbyterians, like the first chaplain Robert Hunt. Some Puritans were also Presbyterians and came over on the Mayflower. Congregations were established early on in the 1600s, like Norriton Church in Pennsylvania, and Log College was established, which later became Princeton University. As things settled in the New World, the church laid down roots, accepting the Westminster Confession, fostering debate that resulted in its first major schism, and massive expansion in Virginia, in large part due to the efficacy of Samuel Davies as a preacher. As tension grew in the colonies, Presbyterians led the charge for independence. Christopher Pearl notes in an article that a New Jersey loyalist said it was the damned hot-headed Presbyterians who were aiming for independence. John Witherspoon, a member of the clergy and president of Princeton, signed the Declaration of Independence. At the Continental Congress in Philadelphia, John Adams wrote to his wife that the Presbyterian clergy engage in politics with a fervor that will produce wonderful effects. Jefferson also noted the Presbyterian spirit for liberty. Throughout our foundings, they were central. Presbyterians were central. And even in the Revolutionary War, many fighters were also Presbyterians, including James Caldwell, a minister who was killed in 1781, who denied inspection of a package he was carrying. After the founding of the nation, sparking the Second Great Awakening and driving its westward aims, Presbyterians were central to the Cumberland Revival, boasted leaders at the time like Archibald Alexander and Charles Finney, and established the first African Presbyterian Church in Philadelphia, and created another forum for new thought and debate that resulted in heresy trials of people like Beecher and Barnes. The same hotbed of religious thought also resulted in the old school, new school schisms of theology, and also their subsequent resolve. The Presbyterians have a history of breaking up and coming back together and breaking up and coming back together, and I think that's very much, it echoes American history as well, at large. A shift toward looking beyond the U.S. included the incorporation of California's Chinese population with the first Chinese Presbyterian Church, and in line with the standard historical trajectory where women started becoming more involved outside of the home, during the second half of the 19th century, incorporating women was important in the Presbyterian Church, and they founded the Women's Foreign Missionary Society, which was the first women's missionary board. Overall, as Longfield argues in his Presbyterians and American Culture, a history, Presbyterians have left an important imprint on American culture, just as American culture has left its mark on Presbyterians. Throughout time, the schisms, the development of thought, the expansion westward, this fervor has been, it's essential for Americanism, and it's essential for Presbyterianism, and the two are inextricably linked.